that they sent the list, and she's like, with only 8 people, and we sent one back with 4. So how is it only 8 and you sent 4? Okay, well, shit, now you got 12 to pick from. And guess what? Without even hesitating, they agreed to the main one that you selected. So it blows my mind. Anyways, Thursday, 4/17, 122 to 4:57, Miss Budnick confirms the parties reached no agreement in mediation, because remember that was mediation day. All of Bree's requests for in-person visitation were denied by John, and asked for a phone call on the visitation topic for 4/18. I have to move this up. I agreed to the call, confirmed we were not in agreement to use the visitation center when one was not ordered. And note, John said he had family plans with Winter on Easter, per what he told Bree on our on the Family Wizard app. I explained Bree was fine respecting those plans. How nice. And is willing to split baby W's first birthday 50-50 so both parents could see their son on his actual first birthday. Miss Budnick states Bree abducted baby W, so John was adamant about using a visitation center, at least for the first month. I point out again, the orders only require a professional supervisor to be used, and confirm, thank you, love, where was I at? And confirm, I understand her client's concern. I offered to, it's hard to see that way. I offered to send more options if they did not like what I shared. Friday, 4/18/25. Wait. Okay, Friday, 4/18/25, 9:18 to 12:15. Ms. Budnick cancels our call for the afternoon, stating, I am not sure a call is productive at this point in light of your email. Wait, what? Miss Budnick cancels our call. So that's John's attorney cancels the call with Bree's attorney on Friday the 18th, okay? Stating, I am not sure a call is productive at this point in light of your email. I point out everything outlined in my 4/18/25 declaration RE. All the procedural fumbles I saw in the filed docket, advising we would ask the court to address the visitation dispute today in court, and remind Miss Budnick keeping the peace is owned by a bailiff who employs off-duty police officers as monitors. Second reminder. Miss Budnick continues to argue for the visitation facility. I again ask why John will not agree to use a monitoring service owned by a bailiff that employs off-duty officers as monitors. Third reminder. God dang this lady. Miss Budnick tries to kick the can. What? Miss Budnick tries to kick the can to the 5/2/25 hearing, RE visitation, knowing Winter's B-Day is 4/26/25, and my client has not seen him since 3/24/25. I state we are not willing to table this visitation issue. I asked a fourth time why John would not agree to use a service who uses off-duty police officers as monitors. I beg, please do what's best for the baby by making sure his mom doesn't miss his first birthday. I read it like that because she put it in all caps, bold writing. First, ma'am. Now, who was that? Tatiana, is this a lawyer or HR rep? First of all, it's not John that's making her miss the first birthday. It's your client, ma'am. Your client chooses to not follow rules. So since you asked 4 times, right, I would like to ask you 1 time. Why is your client so against 1 time going to a center? Just 1 time. Why is she wants to see her baby so bad. It is so important for her to be there for his first birthday. Why will she not go 1 time to the visitation center? It's clear as day why John is requesting it. He has said multiple times. Remember, right before this, I was reading, and she kept saying the kidnapping, right? She kept stating that. So now we know why. He wants to have it in a visitation center. And again, like I just said, it's clear as day, ma'am, your client has no respect for authority, including the judge. She's had choice words for the judge as well. I'm sure that you'll have to address. So I'm not sure where her confusion comes in. I'm a lay person, right? So if I can figure this out, I'm not sure why she can't. I don't know. But we'll keep reading. Let's see. More Diet Coke. Yeah, the streaming part's going to be huge for her, right? Okay. Brianna messaged John on 4/18/25 on Our Family Wizard. Thread is attached. And asked him to fill out the intake paperwork. John said, I'm on a road trip and will do it whenever I get there. This is notable as my client is regularly smeared by John and his followers online for going out during her parenting time. Oh my God, please don't tell me this. Don't tell me she's really about to say this. Hold on. I have to move it up. Sorry. This is notable. Where the hell did that just go? I just lost my dang place. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, Ms. Bennett claims that my client started. Hold on. Did I go up too far? Oh, I went up too far. Sorry, my bad. Hold on. Here it is. This is notable as my client is regularly smeared by John and his followers online for going out during her parenting time. Ma'am, she only has him 7 days a month. If that. If she keeps him for the whole 7 days, he has him the rest of the days. And has work to do as well. It's not like he's gone long. He probably was driving somewhere at the time and said he'd do it when he got back. But because it wasn't done like that, Bree wants everything done the second she says it. That's notable. That's not notable. You want to know what's notable? Watch your client stream from today. Note that behavior. Note that and take that to the judge. Sorry, I'm back. Sometimes anyway, let me just read. I'm just going to read and stay focused. Miss Budnick said, oh my God, I always have to turn these off. No, go away. Oh, you can turn them off. Miss Budnick says John is being courteous by offering to start at a supervised visitation facility and transition to a professional monitor at another location in the future after visits are successfully exercised at a facility without issue. There is no issue of a courtesy being given. The court already ordered professional visits could take place. I shared the OFW message with Miss Budnick and again requested John fill out the intake paperwork. I reminded her a mom should not miss her son's first birthday, especially when she gave John the 2024 fall winter holiday in the 1031 stipulation order in exchange for her getting them in 2025. Let me just keep reading. I have so much to say. I have so much to say. Ms. Budnick claims my client can start her visits, but with a monitor selected by her client. Note, from the 3/24/25, when the supervised visitation order was put into place to 4/15/25, when I subbed into the case, to my knowledge, John and Miss Budnick never they're coming for me again. Never reached out to Bree with John's request monitor, nor suggested visitation dates. Did your client reach out to them to request them? Listen, they out here. They popping out here. Right. Yeah, not his job. That's for him or for her to contact and say, hey, I'm able to come into town these dates. Can we set this up? You know what I'm saying? Not this. This is crazy. Where's that? Ms. Budnick claims I'll read this again. Ms. Budnick claims my client can start her visits, but with a monitor selected by the client. Note, the 3/25, the supervised visitation order was put into place to 4/15/25 when I subbed in the case. To my knowledge, John and Miss Budnick never reached out to Brianna with John's requested monitor, nor suggested visitation dates. I confirm understanding that John is saying police officers are not as good of monitors as lay people who work in a visitation center. Fifth reminder. Only after my fifth reminder about keeping the peace employing police officers, and 2 days into this conversation, does counsel say she likes the idea of off-duty police officers being the monitors. She said she would call the company. She said she would call the company. I remind Miss Budnick she did not ask for a visitation center in her 325, 324, 327 ex parte, yada, yada, yada. Miss Budnick then says she spoke to Rick from the company who, page 15, who confirmed a visit could be done at the company's facility in Texas. She advised if there were no issues with visit number 1, the next visit could be in a public place. A third shift is less than 48 hours from John as to what he will allow. What? That didn't make sense. Let me read that again because that didn't make sense to me. She advises if there were no issues with visit number 1, the next visits could be in a public place. Then in parentheses says a third shift is less than 48 hours from John as to what he will allow. I have no clue what she's trying to say right there. That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, most importantly, she advised, I'll have John complete the intake paperwork so we can get it started. We later learned she never did this. Who never did that? Anyways, on Saturday, 4/19, between 1:32 and 8:01, Bree emails me to say she had just spoken to the company and it was confirmed John never submitted his paperwork as, thank you, love, as his attorney told him over 24 hours beforehand that he was going to do so. I try not to work on weekends because I have a family. However, I know his career choice is a 24/7 type of thing, especially around the holidays when lots of clients experience custody exchange, drama, etc. So I try to keep an eye on my email. She doesn't say all that just to say that she checked her email on the weekends. Kudos, ma'am. As soon as I saw Bree's message, I emailed counsel at 2:26 p.m. and asked why John had not done his paperwork as he claimed he had. Counsel said many hours later that it was my fault John's paperwork was not done. She reasoned that since I had told her the day before, I would talk to Bree about the suggested visitation center and never wrote her again. She never told John to do his paperwork, despite telling me that the opposite in Friday's email. She said she would not speak to him that day. She said she would not speak to him that day, but would do so on Monday. I noted it seemed like John was trying to intentionally delay my client's visit with baby W, and that sending John an email to do the paperwork, weekend or not, would not only take an additional minute of her time. I received no further response over the weekend. What's funny that she says that, because just before that she wrote an entire paragraph how she does not like to work on the weekends, and that she but she just happened to check, she just happened to check it that day, but she typically does not work on the weekends because that is reserved for family, but now she wants everyone else to jump and do it. Hold on, it's a time for a Diet Coke break. I'm parched.